Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chantry House Baltimore Sorcerer Edition. Once again, your storyteller. We have apparently Kirby, as well as our regular cast, minus Vex, who is doing something. I don't know what she's doing. She's just not here. Which I totally forgot she was going to be into earlier today. But yeah, so welcome. We are still going. We have everyone's been fully converted to sorcerer. Including Kirby in the corner. Quick synapse of last episode. The crew, for the most part, went to Gunpowder Hall State Park in order to retrieve an artifact that they had received information on, and the artifact turned out to be a nail from an old train derailment, and it was enchanted to where when you hammer it into something, it opened up basically a kind of like not necessarily a portal, but it like where thin between the veil between living and other dimensions and stuff. And if it kept going, it would have been summoning demons and other horrible things. And the crew managed to retrieve it and successfully return it. So that is good. So one artifact is down. You also had a vision from Holly's character, depicting various things that are good for potential plot elements for what's going to be happening next. I think that's the biggest highlights. Anybody remember anything more specific, Katrina?
I think that was mainly it. I did see a magical LSD influenced vision. Leilani, why you gotta cry when I'm trying to talk? Of Max meeting with the people that invaded the Chantry House. So that's suspicious. And I think we left off with the rest of us returning to the hotel to like decide where what we're doing next.
One other note, we found a cell phone of somebody related to whatever happened. And we're going to work on getting that see what's on it.
Oh, there's a person who was scared by the person who put the
Yes, a witness to the so-called bad man.
Yeah, somebody that saw whoever put the nail in the tree.
Yeah, hopefully we can find out whose phone it is and then question them. Or maybe they took a picture or something.
All right, so we will head back to the tent, which we have deemed as actually a hotel, not a motel, because the doors to the rooms are on the inside of the building. It is a difference.
It's safer that way.
It's stuff you learn. Randomly new names like whopping means chicken something. So you ever want to swap a boat? So you're at the hotel. As you returned, Casty meets you. He's like, you come back with the artifact, so let us put that into the vault. Sounds good.
Sounds good. We'll hand it over.
Pulls out a box to put it in and say, seals the box up. Right. It's going in the vault. This one should be far more secure than the ones you have, because nobody knows about. Except for the 5 of you. Oh, 4 of you, 1 of you walking away. Hello, okay. Sounds good, sounds good. Oh, while you were gone, I did bring in some more food that's not noodle based. There's some stuff.
That is greatly appreciated.
Yeah, we had went out about there's a lot of Lunchables. And
maybe we should do a grocery run.
Yeah, we can do that. A balanced meal is important.
That's what Ronja's sibling says that we should get a bunch of. So that you all love it, that you used to eat them all the time, like it was a feast.
You listen to a kid about getting food for adults, for a house full of adults?
You know, in hindsight, probably shouldn't have, but she seemed so innocent and honest.
Yeah, we need to start making lists for you.
That's how they get you.
Q is going to take the
She
phone.
seems innocent and honest, and then you actually spend some time with her.
What was Q doing?
He was going to take the phone and hook it up to like a air-gapped laptop that he has and try to extract information from it. Just to find out who has it and maybe like what's on there.
It's gonna take a little bit, but could get information shortly. Here, book. What the hell? Let's go something. Roll me a intelligence in computers.
I will do. As soon as I figure out what my numbers are for those things. Let's see.
It's more than
5 dice.
Less than 10.
What's the difficulty?
Unless otherwise noted 6.
Then 1 success?
It's
Not
gonna,
great.
yeah, you know, it's just gonna take quite a while for things to process. It's mainly to see if you pick up the time down.
But not going to be an easy task.
Damn iPhones.
Yeah. That's what he's doing for a while then.
Your hair looks like you just like sat on something uncomfortable.
Hmm?
So it looks like you kind of sat on something uncomfortable there.
Yeah, I am sitting on something uncomfortable. I have I don't currently have a decent chair. Like this one is kind of not that great. Yeah.
Anyone else doing anything in the meantime as you returned home?
Holly's just gonna spend some time in her garden working on tending to her plants and working on different potions and stuff.
You have a garden in the hotel?
I think they established that we have like our own little lab areas in the
So-
hotel.
So you're creating your garden.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
What kind of stuff you can have in your garden? Like cilantro, tomatoes.
Holly just started to cultivating the hotel's planters that are like in the lobby or something. Like out front.
I mean, it's probably a little bit more elaborate than just the ones out front. Actually, it's a not horribly bad-sized hotel. It might actually be like a rooftop garden.
For some reason, I just immediately picture the I can't remember what the name of the level was in Hitman, where the entire foyer of the hotel was basically a small greenhouse. So as you enter in at the main desk, the entire walls were just surrounded with plant life.
I dig it.
Sapienza? I think it was Sapienza. Anyways, so forgive me for asking, but is this hotel going to be our base of operations for a while, or are we just temporarily removed from the mansion?
It's right now your base of operations because after the incident stuff, they're not sure if the people who own the building are still gonna kind of like allow you there. And since it's been compromised, they kind of like this is a far more secure for our stuff because it's a casting them or recruit you for part of a new organization they're building that no one knows about. So it's like the hotel is far more secure and secret at the moment.
Then I would probably be working on some type of security device to where I could tap into their security systems just to be on the safe side. Just so in case we need eyes specifically that the hotel may or may not give us freely.
These are like, selling security, that's cool. We don't really have mundane security, so cool.
Don't have mundane security?
No, we have a obscuring spell, so anyone who comes near the hotel, you just their minds see nothing except for an
Oh,
event ability
right.
to kind of look over it.
Right, you made mention of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
but-
does
so-
that not work against other awakened?
I mean, if they know what they're looking for, they can utilize magics for it, but if you don't know it's something, you don't know to look for something, it's good, but it's not foolproof, so adding extra security is never gonna hurt. I mean, unless you're making it like a booby trap, in which case it would hurt someone who breaks in.
Booby traps may be on an activation basis. Like I could turn them on and off at a specific time, but otherwise, yeah, just a basic operating system would make me feel a whole lot more comfortable considering. So yeah, I guess I'd work on that.
A lot of drop ceiling, so it's gonna be easy to run wires.
Funnily enough, you don't need to run as many wires as you'd think. There's a lot of wireless tech that runs fairly well without having to break down walls and install new wiring just to get it up and running.
Oh, that's awesome. I was sort of thinking, you used to have to run like all them wires to the ceiling and drop them down and like tape them to the wall and then drill. Huh, that's cool. Security's gone a long way since. Honestly, I've never done security.
Yeah, I'm going to start working on that.
Well, other than magical stuff occasionally.
Actually, that brings up a very good question. Is Q available at the moment?
His camera like glitched a little bit, I guess, with like a light flicker, and it kind of looked like Kirby blinked out of the corner of my eye.
Well, for Q, your thing that you're doing is semi-passive, so you want to be.
You can
free,
hear me
you
now?
can. Yeah, I can hear you.
And now, yes.
Oh yeah, I was working on getting the phone unlocked and getting all the data off, which I think is going to take a little while, but
Yeah, but it's also semi-passive, so you could do other things.
That's
while it's
true.
happening.
yeah. So once he has like algorithms or whatever running,
The main reason I ask is because I wanted to see if there was some either technological or magical answer to this question. If we would be able to set up, I want to say one of two different things, either a set of security cameras that don't require, or I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Not that they don't require power, but that can be obscured so that they're just completely invisible to the naked eye while still providing intelligence. Or
so like camouflaged.
yeah, that's the better word for it. Basically, regardless of the wording there, yes, to camouflaged to everybody, but can still pick up pictures for entire rooms or entire levels. Or if we needed to install the physical technology, if there would be a way to wirelessly power them all with a single either charge or single connection to some type of power grid. So like a single plug into an AC connector powers all of it.
Well, one of Q's long-term goals is wireless power, but that's still a ways off. So he doesn't have a wireless power, but he does have a way to create batteries that last for like a week. So he could prepare a bunch of those for all the cameras, so they wouldn't have to be plugged into anything or charged or anything outside of like maybe once a week they'll be like the battery replaced, which should give it a lot of time coverage.
And that's the thing with the tech that I have, IRL tech that I have, it doesn't need to be replaced. You just plug it in and it's good to go. So I guess in this case, the first first question is more pertinent. Just get the camouflage to where you don't see it going to the power cord or power outlet and nobody else can see it.
We could rig up something where the wires go like inside of the baseboard or ceiling board. Is it called a ceiling board when it's on the ceiling? The molding, like the molding. We could take the molding off, put the wires inside through that, and then put the molding back, and they wouldn't be visible because they'd be behind the molding. So
Yeah, but
stuff like that.
That's more intrusive than what I'm trying to do. What I'm thinking capable of is just sticking a camera in a corner, not having to worry about drilling, cutting anything apart, replacing anything, and then yeah, I don't want to call it wireless power, but just camouflaged everything.
Well, if it still needs to be plugged in, you have to hide the wires.
Exactly. Hiding everything from the plug up to the wire or up to the camera. This can be done either off camera or in chat if we need to. I feel like we're taking too much time on this.
Do you know if you're thinking of an enchantment, you will have to create a ritual which requires time to do that?
Yeah, I don't have any specific rituals that could do anything like this at the moment.
Okay, so something to discuss later then. I apologize for taking up that much time for it.
No, that's what we're here for. I think we could do a good job putting the cameras in places and obscuring them so you wouldn't know they're there unless you know where to look and like search for them. I think that's very reasonable.
Well, that and don't like just vanilla spy cams exist?
Yeah, and I mean, I just out of curiosity I looked it up actually, and they have like up to 12 months battery life, so that's not actually a like they're not the most obscure ones, but you know.
Wow, 12 months. Okay, yeah, that actually solves the problem there because that could
I was
be
like,
used
they have long battery lives because I was like, if I mean they're not like, you know, like the tiny hidden James Bond spy camera that is like just a little like knob somewhere or something like that, but they do have very long battery lives actually.
Yeah, and that 12-month period could just be considered routine maintenance for the hotel. So yeah, that definitely works.
We could do what the Cyclos do, or what was used against the Cyclos as well in a book I read once, and put up some cameras that are easy to detect, but not like obvious. And then if people see those, they'll think they found the hidden cameras. Meanwhile, the actual hidden cameras are unfound. Because if people are looking for hidden cameras,
You're
they're not going to
taking
give up until they find
advice
some.
from Battlefield Earth.
From the people who won Battlefield Earth. The advice worked for them. Against aliens, Kevin.
While you were learning to spell your name, reference to the movie.
I got it.
No. The thing is like using like basically having two sets of hidden devices, and one of them being like
the ones you're meant to find.
Yeah. There's the ones that are be meant to be found, and then the others that are like more well hidden, so that people stop looking because they thought they found the hidden devices. That is a legit thing. Also, the legit thing there that I just mentioned, it can also fail, that people only find the really actually well-hidden devices, but don't spot the obvious ones. It's basically like a doubly secure system. Anyway, doesn't the hotel have security of its own?
Not mundane security, only magical stuff hiding it. They didn't bother to actually install a security system because I think they bought the building when it was like really old and kind of not updated with any modern stuff.
It still has
somewhat condemned, I believe.
Hey, Lonnie, no.
Wait, is this our hotel actually? Effectively?
Technically, no. You're more like allowed to stay there. You think you're not quite sure who owns it. You're pretty sure it's Cassidy and her crew. Technically own it.
But it does sound like it's only our group that is in here at all.
Let me get a snack. Do anything?
So we can do whatever we want with it.
You could always ask them.
I mean, yeah, we can just like if you like we know the people, we can just, hey, maybe we should install a like mundane security system. Just, you know, some cameras and stuff.
Don't forsake Cassidy and y'all get together to have a conversation about it. so that you can explain things, so you don't have to keep asking questions. We can do it in character. Yes, he's like, so you guys have some questions, I hear. And you gonna be quiet now?
Yeah. We were thinking maybe the hotel could use some like mundane, normal security stuff.
Yeah, Talon here says so. Yeah. Mhm.
You know,
The
some
fuck did you just call me?
Talon, isn't your name? That's not how you spell your name.
Talon?
Yeah, isn't it like French or something?
Talon.
if it was French, it would be
Oh.
Talon.
Oh, I thought that it was just a fancy white person name. I'm sorry, Talon. Oh, that
Ronja,
makes
he's
sense.
already confused. Stop fucking with him further.
Yeah,
all
Talon,
have
you are a
fascinating
security
foreign
guy.
names.
Why don't you
Uh,
say?
Where's my pepper spray?
Everyone you had in mind.
Okay. I got it. I got it. Sorry, I could ask how to pronounce everyone's name before. Oh, that means I must be pronouncing some of your names wrong. Ronja?
No, Ronja.
Oh, it's that weird Scandinavian JY thing. Huh.
Think of it as like an I, more or less. Ronja. Ronja. Then you got it.
And it's Q, right? I think I got that one correct.
Yeah, the letter.
It's
Like-
actually cute.
Oh, thank you.
Like the James Bond person who creates all the gadgets.
Who's
He's
that?
a bit on the nose with his name.
Mm. Yes. Okay.
The Who?
No, that's a
Hey.
band.
Q, out of curiosity, does it also just say Q like in your ID?
No, my ID's wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, so
I don't know.
yeah,
I thought it would be funny, but also like really annoying because every time you show your ID, people look at you like it's definitely has to be fake, right?
They still look at me like that.
and it becomes a problem when you have those things like you need to have a name longer than 2 letters. Ooh.
It's easier just to say Q because you can't really misspell it.
So Talon was mentioning about installing some security cameras, which is great. I mean, if you want the mundane security, that is cool. I'm guessing you were thinking of some other things or ideas for stuff since you're staying here, I'm guessing, maybe?
You
You
keep
already
sa-
have been saying that you want to have, different food selection in the kitchen, so that's good.
You keep saying mundane. Is there some type of magical security system that I'm unaware of? That you know of that I don't?
What about some anti-personnel mines?
I've already got those installed on the Roombas.
So,
Yeah, that's dangerous.
like, when I say mundane, I mean as opposed to like magical, mystical, and stuff like the obscuring field we have where people,
Yeah.
ignore it, or like there's some wizards and sorcerers and magic people out there who have stuff where if you open up their door without the proper knocks, you basically enter an endless corridor that you can't escape from. There's some people where if you
Preposterous.
are the actual building doesn't quite exist in this plane of existence. So if you try to open the door, it just opens to not just its door frame going back and forth because it doesn't actually exist in this realm. Things like that. So, but mundane is
Um,
like security cameras, alarm systems,
Okay.
infrared, and
Then-
personnel
In
mines.
terms of magical security, something that might be better because I don't want to have to pull like one of my siblings out of an endless hallway that they got lost in because they didn't know the correct knock code or forgot it or whatever.
Oh, I'm not skilled enough to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, something that I think would be nicer would be maybe a room that, like a door that leads to 2 different rooms, depending on how, I don't know, like you open it or knock on it or something like that, what key you use.
I was actually
Like
thinking that.
one that leads to like a mundane hotel room and the other one that leads to whatever we want.
I was thinking one that leads to the room that you're trying to get to using a key card, and if you don't use it, it just takes you to the entrance. Just
Oh no, it
right
was
the
just
fuck.
something like you open it, and if you don't have the correct key or whatever, it just leads you to a normal hotel room. Nothing, it doesn't confuse you anywhere. It's what you expect. And only if you have the right password key or whatever, it leads you to, I don't know, fancy
Narnia.
sex dungeon.
That sounds.
Why did you go there?
That sounds nifty. I don't know any of the rituals for that, or
Okay.
any of the spells personally. If you
I like that idea better. 2 different locations
How do we
depending
go about
on.
building a ritual, Kevin?
mechanically,
that,
it
thank
takes
you very much.
it takes a considerable amount of time in game,
Ah, shit.
and you have to have the right paths and stuff. It's a journey, which Q or Luke's character is going to know a lot of, because his entire main discipline is or path is all about rituals and ritual creations.
Well, I guess it's-
Alternatively, if you find one that already exists, you can spend XP.
I like this idea about the door going different places because it's basically just a magic door, and
I
doors are
also
simple.
really like it because it is a little less obvious that this place is magical. It could just be like if somebody walks in and they're not supposed to be here. If they walk into a room, say they get into the hotel and they go to walk into Ronja's room and they're magically transported back to the front door, that's suspicious. They're not
Yeah.
gonna leave now
But if they're
because
getting
that's weird.
if they're in
But
the
if they
hotel in
open
the
the
first
door
place, they're
and instead of
magical anyways.
not necessarily. Not all magic works on every person just because there are a handful of unenlightened folks that don't know shit about magic that just through circumstances by just being exceptionally high willpowered or having a connection to it but not really understanding that magic is real might see through the field or whatever, or might end up here, or they might be literally sent here by somebody who is in the know. And if they walk in and they go into Ronja's room and they get teleported back to the front door, they're gonna know some shit is up. But if they open Ronja's door and instead of seeing the pigsty that her siblings left, they just see a regular hotel room, that's normal. That's expected.
I mean, the pigsty that my siblings leave is also quite
But also,
mundane.
we're trying to hide the fact that people are here. They don't need to know that your siblings live in that room.
That is true.
I agree with that with one stipulation. So I may as well go ahead and ask the universe this outright. Is that a situation that can arise? The unawakened with high willpower or being sent there directly by somebody who is awakened? Can they actually get in this place, or does the Obscura spell prevent all unawakened from even getting inside of this place?
The answer to that is typically if someone's gonna break through that barrier and stuff, it is for plot and story reasons.
How does
Typically, mechanically, there are those who could do it, but it's not very common.
out of curiosity, actually, how does our like the obscuring spell work basically? For for example, would somebody that would it just be like a building that nobody pays attention to basically?
When you
Unless they're
drive through a
magical?
city and you see abandoned buildings in a urban blight area, do you pay attention to any details of those buildings or go, hey, that building's cool, I'm gonna go into it? Or
Yes.
do you guys
Yes,
just
I'm weird like that. I'm weird like that.
Then you're probably going guy if you go to Baltimore. But typically in Baltimore City, since we have that urban blight problem, it's something people just ignore. You just don't exist. You don't pay attention to the abandoned building with
Especially if you're a local.
big red diamond that says, condemned. People don't pay attention to it. So that's basically how it works is when people go by, it's just something that doesn't catch your attention. You just don't pay attention.
Oh yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
I get that because
Yeah.
there are other places that I do not pay attention to. For example, I don't know, a random unassuming hotel that just doesn't look specifically crappy, but also not really fancy. It's just, ugh.
It's just
I imagine
So-
the kind of place where I don't know, like an unassuming hotel, and then like that you see like in spy movies where they like go in.
So essentially, the magic in this one works essentially by just making people not give a shit about this place.
Yeah.
The magic's on the other place. The last place, people always knew it was there. It was just a house to everyone, but people still came up, knocked on your door, asked for milk, complained about the noise ordinance, all that stuff, and there's other things that protected it that you built into it.
We also
Yeah.
do we have a lot of neighbors in this area? Like, what's
No.
around us?
There's probably nothing for like.
They're just a bunch of unassuming buildings. There's
Oh,
nobody
God,
pays
is
attention
this
to
like a-
around us. It's the
Are
magical
we in the
neighborhood.
woods?
And
Are we in the
everyone
woods?
uses the same
So-
spell.
You're not in the woods.
Oh.
Essentially, like it's hard to describe if you haven't been to the area, but there are places in Baltimore County and stuff where you drive and there's like side roads that just used to be more important back in the day, like Route 66, like Radiator Springs, if you ever watched Cars, where it's just off the beaten path and nobody gives a shit about it anymore. That's what it is. So they
Okay.
found a building that was off the beaten path that people really don't engage with to begin with, added an extra layer of magical spell on it to make it even more forgettable. So the hope of Cassidy and her crew is it's so forgettable nobody's going to even bother driving down the road to see it, let alone
So,
get
Kevin,
here.
What I am imagining is a Joppa Road hotel that is a couple steps above a Joppa Road motel.
I just.
Oh,
I just
God.
imagine- I no.
There is
I just.
fucking nothing around us.
I just imagine what would have also been really funny. It's just in an area where like all the buildings seem just like extremely unassuming to everyone who just walks there, including to us, except for the hotel that we're in. So like eventually we'll be like, hey, maybe this is actually just a neighborhood where a bunch of magical people live that have all like used this concealing spell to make like their buildings completely unassuming and forgettable. And it's just like an entire part of the city.
That's very
Maybe
good.
our
though.
neighbors. I don't know. I'm not even sure somebody lives there. I don't know. And across the street, I don't know. I never pay attention. Who are these people on the street? I don't know.
So that's kind of like what they were going for. So that's what they have.
I like the idea of the door thing. We can figure out how to do it.
Yeah, but it's take some time to find a ritual like that, or
Yeah,
learn to
but we got
develop
time.
yourself. I mean, the alternative is if you could find someone more skilled in the arts that could do it and pay them a fee, but you'd have to find someone you trust to come in here to begin with to do that.
Yeah, and then they wouldn't have to know about it.
Yeah.
But
So
honey,
that's the-
leave him alone.
I guess it wouldn't be out of line to have us ask people we know if they know anyone who could do that in the interest of learning it ourselves without saying why we want to know it and learn it. Just
Well,
to
the
see if it's out
issue
there.
is that a lot of our contacts are either peeved at us or straight up don't like us anymore. I know. I see you.
Oh, yeah, but you can't mend a bridge if you don't pull out the tape. You got to take the first step before you can take the last one.
I guess that's fair. And like our mentors, some of them are kind of unaffiliated with the traditions, so they might not give a shit as much.
Yeah. But I mean, if you asked someone who doesn't really like you much for like a favor or information, they might find that to be a way that they could get you to owe them. And that might be something they like to do.
Fair. I suppose
Mhm.
that we could ask. They don't necessarily need to know where we're doing the ritual.
No, they don't need to know anything really. Just that we can just say, we want to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone who knows how to do it? And then go from there. And either they say, F off or F in. Or F on, I guess. For come in and I'll tell you. I don't know what they'll say. Those are options.
Most of those are not things people say to. This baby wants the peeps that I am eating so goddamn bad. She's trying to scale my chair.
The climber.
Yeah. But yeah, so
I guess I could also check my library.
That's a good idea. Yeah, we have a really good library as a team because a lot of us took that background.
yeah, Katrina strong armed you into taking
It was she didn't need to strong arm much.
it.
Yes, I bullied everyone into it.
Not everyone.
I think Ronja will like look up on like I don't know, like just
Wait a
generally
second.
like browse news, social media, whatever, to see like any like people talking about stuff that could potentially lead us to more of the artifacts, magical stuff.
So you're looking up stuff on social media, and you do see something that seems a bit interesting in that there have been some news reports or some reports of someone robbing several places, but the robberies are a bit interesting in that every one of them has been done without any resemblance of any kind of breaking and entering. The place is still locked up. The people said they were home and didn't hear or see anything. And the only thing that's in common other than stuff's disappearing is they all had all report the same smell of a same smell of like a garlic and sulfur mix.
Italian demons?
It's a good demons.
I regret
Did you
making
say
that comment.
garlic and sulfur?
Yes. So
Can-
basically
can
garlic
I-
and rotten eggs. So
Can I deduce if there's anything that is like in common that was stolen at each place? Or it's just I don't know, like what you would expect to be stolen.
kind of like what was expected to be stolen, like valuables, jewelry, nothing. Yeah, like no real patterns other than the basic patterns a typical thief would do. So I cash, jewelry, PlayStation 5s.
Are there any reports of a blue-furred demon-looking guy that is just poofing in and out of existence?
No crawlers, night or day.
I had to ask. Because apparently Nightcrawler also like when he bends in and
Harry!
out, he also leaves a smell.
No, that's not yours.
Harry just grabbed one of Leilani's toys and started playing. Harry,
I
that was
had to
magic.
ask. I had to make sure.
We're gonna have to take a quick break. Need to change the baby. So
Okay.
second. Oh, so yeah, so the item or the stories you're reading, nothing really in commonality of what was stolen besides valuable stuff. But the whole people were home, didn't hear anything, nobody woke up. There's no signs of breaking and entering, and everyone reported a very strong smell of sulfur and garlic.
All right.
That could be a lot of things.
Are they clustered at a certain area?
Good question.
They are sort of on the sorry, brain just Forgot my directions there for half a second. Northeastern side of Baltimore City area, slightly south of an area called House. Those who know Baltimore know roughly what I'm talking about. Those who don't, just know they're clustered within this little zone where the city and county meet.
That's good news. If they're clustered in a specific area, then we know where
Yeah.
to look. We know the where, now we need to figure out the how. If they're getting in and out without being seen, we might need a way to see things that can't easily be seen.
Indeed, we can also look into what kind of magics and creatures
the smell?
are associated with the smell of sulfur and garlic.
Yes.
Might also be related to teleportation.
It could be. If they just teleport in, grab stuff, teleport out, that would explain pretty much everything.
It would, but why the smell?
Side effect of teleportation, maybe. If they're
Have
maybe
you read X-Men comics?
they're transporting through like
I
some
mean,
other plane,
There's this
yes,
character
but
called
like,
and
Nightcrawler.
the
Unless-
robberies happen at night.
unless Nightcrawler was literally based on a genuine demon, which I
Well-
don't think it was.
Jumping subjects in Supernatural, the demon clues was sulfur being left behind.
Well, no, like, okay, so the concept of sulfur being related to demons is in fact a very common like trope and thing in the occult. The garlic less so. That's the part that's kind of like confusing me.
Maybe they just like garlic, and it's
don't
not
know,
related to the
maybe-
movement.
It's a demon that works for a pizza place.
Mamma
They
mia.
they don't pay pizza place people enough, that's for sure. The minimum wage is
A
bad.
demon that does Uber Eats.
Maybe we have to find out who delivered food to these places within a few days before they got robbed. They were casing the place by deliveries.
Yeah, I feel like the easiest thing to do would be to talk to the people that were affected and see if there are any similarities that either the media and or police didn't notice or aren't sharing. Because that's the other thing. Just because there aren't any similarities that you're seeing doesn't mean that nobody has seen them and or that there aren't any. It just means that there aren't any reported in that article.
Hmm.
Because like the police often don't share everything because they don't want the criminals to know what they know.
I want to put a
Yeah.
dot on a map of all the places they got robbed and see if it forms like a pentagram.
The answer is no, it does not form a pentagram. I'm not that
Ah.
basic.
Just a random scattering of places in Towson. Yeah, I'm guessing our culprit is local to
Mm.
Towson. Makes sense.
We don't. The people who stole these things, he could have done anything with them. It seems likely the person who took this item is the one using it, but it might not be.
Wait, oh, hang on. What item are we talking about? The
Whatever is letting them do this. If they're using an item to get in and out of the houses to rob, and it's an
oh,
item
undoubtedly.
that was stolen from us.
Yeah, looking at our yeah, the issue is that so many of the items that we have, you can't search by like function. It's not like and even then we don't even know what the function is. The function could be that it makes them invisible. It could be that it lets them teleport. It could be that it lets them walk through walls. Any of
the lag.
those would work.
There's a lot of echo.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, sorry.
But that's a good point. We don't know exactly what they're doing, just that
So
what
we can't
they're
even
able to
really
do.
search our own database to see what they item they might have.
We might be able to narrow it down if we search for all the keywords. You guys just get like a smaller list that we can then narrow down later.
Does anybody know Sam or Dean? Shit, I'm not muted.
I think our best bet would be trying to find a way to talk to the victims. So we definitely need a better cover story than we had when we went ghost hunting.
I am literally a police officer.
You are?
Yeah.
I thought you were like private security.
No,
You're in public
ex-army
security?
in police officer went
Oh,
to
I didn't
SWAT.
know you were an active beat cop.
SWAT, not beat cop. SWAT.
Oh, okay.
Never walks
Granted.
by. I thought I smelled bacon.
Well, honey, what the fuck are you doing?
Hugh likes that, but he doesn't show it.
The baby is just rolling around on the floor, holding on to my pant
You're
leg
muted.
and yanking on it.
Katrina, you're muted that whole time. You were trying to say.
We heard you.
Yeah, we heard her through your mic.
Hilarious.
Oh, now you're working, Yeti. Yeah, earlier you weren't working.
Honey,
So yeah, I mean, if nobody else has got a problem with it, I could definitely go and pull out the beat cop shtick, ask him the
Question.
questions, and I really don't want to RP that in detail if at all possible.
we
My
could
character's a cop. I am not a cop.
So the only thing that I'm hesitant about is I don't want to draw attention to ourselves. And like typically people get annoyed when it's like, oh, I already told the cops everything. If you guys keep annoying me, I'm gonna call your station or whatever.
Okay,
I don't
so
want to get you in trouble.
I can just if we have confirmation that they've already spoken to the cops, then I could just go and get the police reports. That should not be hard to find.
Oh, that's probably way easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll
I
tell
mean,
us who has and hasn't talked to the cops.
Uh-huh.
Because if they have a police report, then obviously they talk to the cops. Then again, anybody that wanted to file for insurance needs to file a police report. So
and that would give a good explicit list of stolen items as well.
true.
And then we could look for if anyone has been using or selling those items. But I guess that's what the cops are already doing, or
Yeah,
what they should
undoubtedly.
already be doing.
I will go ahead and note that it usually takes a lot of time to correlate that kind of information as to what was stolen versus what has been bought and or sold of similar descript.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like that sort of stuff gets it. And if
It's not
they're
like CSI
smart,
where it's a single episode of an hour and you already know who the killers
well,
are.
and also if they're smart, they're gonna sit on the
Yes.
stolen goods for a couple of months before they resell it. They're not gonna immediately run to a pawn shop 2 blocks away and sell the engraved watch.
Well,
They're
it's
not.
if they're smart. We have no guarantee that the perpetrators at this point are smart.
I mean,
All
if
we
they
know
were
is
that
that they
dumb, I
stole
feel like they
shit.
would have been caught.
We can't assume that they're too dumb because they are using a magic item to rob a bunch of people.
They may
Supposedly.
be just okay. Prime example of stupidity with magical or occult items. I hate to keep referencing this, but it's where my expertise lays. Supernatural had an episode where Lucky's rabbit foot was actually extremely lucky. So long as you held on to it, you had all of the luck in the world. The moment you lost it, which happens fairly frequently because it's a cursed item, all of that good luck flips the coin. Prime example, the guy was washing dishes, put a grilling fork very awkwardly into a dish drying tray after washing it. So the spike or prongs were pointing up and away from the sink instead of the handle. He was perfectly fine while his friend was, talking to him and all this information happens. As soon as he loses the foot, he then slips on some water that was spilled in the kitchen and goes face first into the grilling fork. Yeah, it was really bad. I don't want to get any more graphic than that, but it was worse. But the prime example of that is extreme stupidity, occult item.
So
if they could
how
figure out how to
about-
use it.
how about Talon, you look into police reports, and the rest of us could maybe pose as like reporters and reach out to the people that were identified in the article and be like, hey, you know, we're doing an article of our own. We're a little curious. What can you tell us?
I don't think the reporter part of that would be all that great if we can get at the information from the police reports. Like you said, if people are going to start bugging them over and over and over, despite
are
what has already
reporters.
been.
Well, the difference
People like to
is
be on TV.
if we say that we're reporters, we're lying, and they can't exactly call our boss because we're not. You do actually have a badge number and a name that they can look up, and a reputation that can
Okay, to be
get
fair,
damaged.
so long as Talon is not part of the journalist squad, then I've got no problems with it.
Yeah.
But,
I
so
think
yeah,
it's a good idea to try 2 different ways to get the information.
Yeah.
We might get more different information too. Q will pretend to be the cameraman.
Oh,
That way he doesn't have to talk. He just has to hold the thing.
Yo, jump into the investigation van and go to the first house that you just saw on social media for the reporter crew. And get like 1960s microvan, it's painted green with some, So this would be Holly, Q, and is Ronja going with them?
Yes.
The three of you show up at a house. In the city would be called a row home, in the county it's called a townhouse. They're essentially the exact same thing. The difference is where you are. And the baby's crying. So. Here, second babies. Can you hear the baby through the mic? And she just stopped crying the moment I say that. What a troll. Anyway, so you approach the first house on the list, which is this townhouse, number, who's going knocking on them?
Holly's more approachable.
All right, what's her story before we actually walk up here?
We're doing an article, a piece.
No. We're independent reporters. We have our own little blog online, blah, 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 something, and we're doing, story. Because I can tell you, these people probably, they talk to police, they talk to them, there's somebody broke in and farted all over their place. Or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They probably the cops think probably they're being, I don't know, some doing like some prank shit or something like that, because there's no sign of a break-in. It seems to be like completely, they probably just think someone's trying to do like some like insurance thing or something like that.
Should we go for like a paranormal angle where we want to believe them that something weird happened and we want all the information?
I think we should go with what they what they give us.
Yeah,
They think it's paranormal
let's
angle.
let them lead it.
Here,
If they,
That's a good idea. Yeah, let them say what they want, and then we'll act like we say.
Exactly.
yeah,
That's
All right.
psychology.
I knock on the door.
Door opens, you see a teenage boy, open the door, is like,
Hey, we're reporters with the Towson Tribune. I'm making up a blog name account. I don't know. We were interested in talking to the homeowner about the recent break-in.
they're not here? Are you talking?
How old is this kid?
Probably like 17.
Oh, well, do you have a second to talk to us?
Sure.
Okay, well, what can you tell us about the break-in?
Woke up after sleeping in the morning and my game systems were gone. As well as some money my parents had, some jewelry, stuff like that. But he stole my systems. Had an Xbox and a PlayStation, and I spent so much money on my games. Like all the stuff. I'm really big into that whole, League of FIFA stuff, and like, spending a lot of money I earned to, get all the skins and loot boxes and shit. Now it's gone. I don't know if I'll be able to get it back if you like the person goes down, I sell my data and everything.
I gotta step away.
Okay. I'm a reporter stepping right away in the middle of questioning me.
He was just standing there filming it with like a big VHS type camera, like you would see in the 80s.
Y'all still use those?
It's really nice because then digitally, like, people think it's forever or whatever, but it isn't really.
You can't hack a VHS.
That too.
No digital artifacting.
Obviously,
VHS?
you've never heard of analog horror.
VHS.
Yeah, but
like
we're
on
not
like a
following
CD.
analog horror. Also, the another advantage is that also, are you actually currently filming?
I have it running.
As a minor, my dude.
Should I cut?
Yeah. No. We just, we need to respect people's privacy. We can't just film them in their face.
Well, there's a center release.
Yeah, you tell me
He's
that's
17. I'm not even sure he can do that.
Yeah,
That's not my business.
yeah. When it comes to new stuff,
It does become our business when we get sued. So,
Above my head.
there's also a thing where like if you don't have an expectation of privacy, it's acceptable.
I think in your own home, you have an expectation of privacy.
But I opened the door and I walked out to the public arena. Anyway, I was signing your form. You guys gonna pay me too?
We'll be in contact for that. That's handled by
I give him a 20.
Nice. Yeah, they have my permission to film.
Nice.
Go buy some pizza later. Yeah, they stole stuff. Like I said, my mom was drilling stuff. The only thing is, when we woke up, like there was a really rank smell through the house. I thought maybe my dad had tacos again. But it wasn't him. Like this really strong, rotted, putrid egg smell. Like
So they stole all your game system and all your games.
I did all my games digital.
Oh, okay.
Stuff anymore.
But all your game systems, right? What was it again? A PlayStation, Xbox, Switch 2?
No, I can't afford to Switch. I spent too much money on the PlayStation. I found one that fell off the back of a truck.
I see. Yeah. What else did they steal, like a TV or something like that too?
No, I didn't take the TVs. It took my mom had a box with some jewelry, earrings and bracelets and stuff that women wear. He stole that. My dad had like $500 in cash in one of his drawers, and that was taken. Couple other things around my parents made a whole report with the police. I don't know the details. I just know what was stolen from my stuff.
Of course.
Like,
so, but would you say like you would need more than one person to carry everything that was stolen?
depends if they had a big backpack, they might have been able to get it all on one trip. If they didn't, it might take 2. I mean, unless the person was like walking like that. But there was the doors were still locked. Nothing was broken. All the windows were secure. Security system didn't go off.
You mind if I come in?
Yes, I do.
No, that's fine. That's fine. And do you mind if I take a look around the house, like go like oh no, you said it's a row house, right?
Yeah, it just take a little bit longer for you to go up and around, but you
Okay.
can still do that. I mean, the alley's public, and so is the front of the house. Just I'm not allowed to bring strangers in the house, especially after being robbed.
No, I
I mean,
understand.
for all I know, you could be casing us a second time, which case you'd be really shitty criminals if you think about it.
Yeah, it would be really bad. It's more I am actually casing. I'm more like thinking about how I would go about it, you know, thinking how I would do it. I'm trying to think how they think.
It sounds a lot like the title to an O.J. Simpson book. If I was going to break into the house, here's how I would have done it.
But I don't break into houses.
You guys didn't recently hire any new, like, maintenance folks or anybody that had a key, like a dog walker or
No
anything
dog
like that?
walker. We just have hamsters. No new maintenance people. My dad keeps saying he can do everything, but then he does it, and we end up having to pay for someone to come in, which costs more than if he had just done it in the first place, at least going to my mom. So nothing like that. Trying to think. Yeah, like I said, I just don't recall anyone or anything that could have been like casing or anything, unless they were just walking around like your friends doing. And also, I mean, it also didn't seem like they knew quite what was in the house, because we have a safe and a few other areas that had more valuables that they didn't even touch. There's a lot of stuff that was more visible.
How nice is this neighborhood, Wayne? I'm not asking him. I'm asking you.
The neighborhood, it's lower middle class, so working kind of class neighborhood. Not too fancy, not too.
All right.
Yeah. It's like, oh, there was one other thing that a couple other things that were missing that we didn't put in the report because it didn't seem.
Oh.
Looks like he drank some of our milk, took a beer out of the fridge, and made himself a sandwich.
What was on the sandwich?
Oh, we had some pastrami, some there was rye with some pastrami and sour cream, not sour cream, sauerkraut. There was like a Reuben sandwich or something like that.
Huh. What a monster.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's just something so bizarre about like, I'm weirdly curious. Did they leave the spoon that they took the sauerkraut out with on the counter or in the sink?
Neither. They left it in the bottle in the fridge.
That's just rude.
And they didn't even close up the bag with the bread.
Oh.
We're probably looking for a guy who did this.
Also, you probably should have told the police that, because they can pull DNA from that or something.
We didn't think about it until after a couple hours after the report, when my brother got hungry and was like, "Hey, who left the spoon in the sauerkraut again?"
And even then, like,
it is certainly strange.
Yeah.
I don't know how much DNA would be left on a metal spoon.
Mm-hmm. No clue.
I mean, they probably used more tools. They touched the bread.
I understand.
If you want to call what we Americans have, you want to call it bread.
Okay.
It's bread, motherfucker.
It's cake bread.
Just because ours is pre-sliced like civilized people.
It has nothing to do with being pre-sliced.
It's that it's too sweet. By European standards, it's actually cake.
It's 90% sugar by volume.
It's not. You don't get like Wonder Bread and think that's what our standard is. We don't even eat Wonder Bread.
Yeah, no.
It's like Miracle Whip. Ooh, that's what you think mayonnaise is? No, it's a Miracle Whip. That's not mayonnaise. We don't even think it's mayonnaise.
It's not mayonnaise.
All right.
It's too
Well,
it's too used. We're not here to talk about that.
Anyway,
Yeah, so that's just the stuff. I wish I could be more helpful, but like I said, we slept during the whole thing, which is amazing because I'm normally a light sleeper, and yeah, no alarm went off, no nothing. Just went to bed, woke up to a horrible smell in the house, noticed things are gone.
do you have an alarm?
Didn't go off.
did you notice that smell was like all throughout the house or like in a specific area or?
Throughout the house, it permeated everything. It's taken us this was like 4 days ago, and it's taken us about that long to get rid of all the smells.
No, that's awful.
Sounds like the stinky thief walked all over the place.
And were your odd question, were your animals also asleep?
I didn't check.
Because like you have hamsters and aren't they usually nocturnal?
They are? That
They
explains
are,
why they
aren't
keep my ass up all night then.
Yeah, you would have thought that they would have like, I don't know, do hamsters typically react when they hear sounds in the house that aren't familiar?
Honestly, even though they're my hamsters, I just feed them like 3 times a day, and that's about it. I really want, a different animal, but my parents said I'm only allowed a hamster because they're small and easy to maintain. I actually want a dog or a cat, but they said they're too expensive, and that even though I and my brother want them, in the end, it's going to be my parents taking care of them. And even though we'll be like, it's our animals, it's really going to be my parents' animals.
What are they talking about? Cats are free.
They still don't want them because I'd have to take care of them. Or they take care of them. They'll be like, we had to change the litter box. You're not going to do it. You're going to find an excuse. You're going to be like, oh no, I'm playing my game and I can't pause my League of FIFA and shit like that.
But this was very helpful. Thank you very much.
Yes. Have a nice day. And
Do we get this guy's name?
Jonathan.
Oh, okay. You don't have to
I don't know,
actually
I
name
just-
him Kevin, but I feel
I
like
just
we
made one
should.
up.
Jonathan
reasonable.
works.
Jonathan.
That's a
Yeah.
I get a big Jonathan vibe from him.
Yeah.
As we leave, I would actually look at the house and even like maybe go around the back after and see what would my point of entry be if I wanted to rob this house.
Roll wits and investigation.
Could I roll streetwise?
Sure, that works too.
What would we roll? D10s, right? That's
Correct.
20.
No, not 20s, D10s.
Yeah, I'm looking. It's all a bit of a mess in here. Got all but jumbled. And you said wits, correct? Yes. Okay. Oh, I get to roll a lot of dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And everything 6 and up is a success, correct?
Correct.
And 10 is 2?
No.
No.
Unless there's a specialty.
All
And
right.
then you
No, don't. No specialty. Does anything subtract from successes?
I think ones do.
Okay. Then I have 2 successes.
Going around, the best place you think to really break into it would be one of the downstairs windows. You're looking at it. You do notice that when you touch the window sill, or at least touch the building, there is a section that feels waxy.
All right. I pull out a knife and see if there's something I can scrape off there.
As you're
Like
doing this, scraping, seeing what you can get. Person just in the alley is like trying to get some paint samples.
Is this like a neighbor?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Say neighbor just working on.
We're investigators. We're working with the homeowners about the home invasion that happened recently.
Yeah, I've heard that there are a couple of those. I'm not sure what happened, but man, did it stink.
Yeah, I heard that. That was very odd.
you
Did you
smelled it
notice
too?
anything else that odd that night?
I just know the next when I woke up in the morning, it smelled coming out of that house.
And you didn't notice anything that night? You didn't hear anything or
No, I'm a pretty deep sleeper. I have a couple, beers and I go to bed.
understandable.
There's a really strong smell. But yeah, if you wonder what kind of paint and stuff is, you could, I could probably tell you I helped paint the house a couple years ago.
Yeah, the thing is that I don't think this is paint. It feels waxy.
We feel
Kinda
there's
strange.
there's a residue on it.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it might be it might be unrelated, but maybe worth
Oh.
looking into, checking in a lab or something like that, what that might be.
That sounds fancy. Go do that. But yeah, I wish I had more to tell you too. But like I said, I woke up and the smell kind of permeating to our house too. They're connected and stuff. We didn't have anything stolen or anything, thankfully. But yeah, it was pretty thing. It's just weird that we didn't wake up during it either, because like you'd think something that odious would wake you up.
Yeah, and is everybody in your household like a heavy sleeper like yourself or
No, me and the wife, I mean, sounds don't wake her because she says I snore, I don't. But she says I snore and that's gives her up. But I also destroy the bathroom a lot, and that never wakes her up from, but she yeah, she didn't wake up, I didn't wake up. None of the neighbors I talked to after the incident said or anything, but us and the other neighbors on the other side did get that smell in the morning.
odd?
So whatever it was pretty strong. We actually were worried a bit because sulfury smell is not
Yeah,
a good thing.
it smells like a gas leak.
Yeah, we were worried because gas leaks, like the natural gas and stuff, that can make you sleep, never wake up, sleep.
Yep.
So we were worried about that, but we also have gas stoves or pilot lights, so well, that's also an issue. Once you get the stoichiometry just right, I think that's what the Mythbusters called it.
Well, at least for some peace of mind, I think that's quite hard to get in most modern houses. But if we learn anything, we'll be sure to come around again and let the locals know so that you know what to watch out for.
Sounds good. Y'all do a good job. You said you're investigators, right?
Yeah, investigative reporters with the
Ah.
and I say the name of the fake blog that I made up.
Y'all should get yourselves a GoFundMe or like a donation page, because your friend there with that camera, his back is going to be fucked. I remember my
It's
uncle
fine.
used to carry the cameras down back in the day. He used to at the news stations, and his shoulder and back, woo, it's like English longbowmen there, just because it's just but yeah.
I mean, we told him to use a modern camera, but he's married to that thing.
We meant for
Understand.
each other.
I understand. I do have a wife, so
I'll
I
do
think
it. I'll
it's a
touch my
family
toes
album
later.
or something.
I'll do a stretch. It'll be fine.
Well, y'all have a good time with your investigative reporting thing. Wait, you're not Fox, are you?
No,
No,
Oh.
fuck fogs.
No, they're garbage.
Okay, because if so, I'd have to say forget everything I just said.
If we were Fox, we'd beat ourselves up. I'd throw myself over the fence.
Sounds interesting. Okay.
As we walk away, as we're walking away.
I
So-
have some more questions. Is the
Oh,
the
okay,
waxy
go on.
stuff, is it on the wall only, or is it like also on the windowsill, on the like separation of the window there, maybe? Like where the window would open?
It's mainly on the facade of the outside, not the actual windowsill.
All right.
like the paneling.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole wall itself didn't become waxy,
No.
made of wax instead of brick.
Yeah, it's just a little area that you notice it.
All right. I smell the wax. Does it smell strange?
You take a big whiff, and I need you to.
Oh no, what do
Okay,
I
here's
roll?
my theory. Before she rolls this and we see what happens. My theory is that the gas or the garlic sulfur smell is not actually a symptom of people teleporting or whatever. It's putting them into a deep sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Roll stamina.
Only stamina?
Only stamina.
Okay.
All right.
I was thinking this is from somebody became immaterial and passed through a surface and left this behind. Your thing makes more sense.
Maybe that thing,
Ooh,
but I
3
think
successes.
the garlic and sulfur is putting people into a deep sleep.
So you could open, you take a big old waft, just like, and you feel yourself getting like lightheaded, and you just like get this like piercing pain in your head temporarily, and you just like get this whiff of sulfur and garlic into your nostrils, and you just go like, it's like almost the reverse of smelling salts, where instead of like knocking your head back to wake you up, it's more almost like putting your ass to sleep a little.
All right, yeah, this is definitely related. Does somebody have like I don't know, a Ziploc bag?
Yeah, of
Hey, do
course.
you have a
right here.
lunchbox?
I've got a thing.
I've got plenty of Ziploc bags, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, because you probably have more than me.
You pull out a dime bag.
Shut up.
Let me
No.
empty this real quick.
Yeah, Ronja would then use like some like a Ziploc bag or two to scrape some
That'd
of
be
that
if
stuff.
Amaryllis was here.
Yeah. To scrape some of that stuff in there and be like, here, we should probably, I don't know, maybe, you know,
Reverse
look at
engineer
this.
it.
Hugh, I've got some wet science for you.
Yeah.
Ooh,
We should
my
probably
least
look at
favorite
it.
kind.
We should probably look at it like magically and, you know,
Oh, yeah.
normally.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it's just some potent chemical somebody.
So as you're doing that, we shift to Talon, who has entered the police station. You're with yes. So you do not enter this police station. All right. So you start.
I just don't want to RP it that way, man.
So
Come
you
on.
start gathering up the stuff. I would like you to roll intelligence and investigation as you go through the files.
Intelligence investigation. Right. Intelligence is
I know I should keep the
3.
dice also, actually.
Investigation is 2. They're all D6s, right?
D10s. D10s, you need 6 or above.
I don't have that many D10s. Dice roller it is. Okay. Sorry about that. I was completely misunderstanding things.
Happens.
Intelligence and investigation. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So 5. Okay. Three successes.
2 success. So you're looking through the police reports and various other things. There were some things not reported in the media, which is standard, so that if people have news or come and be like, hey, I got information. You can kind of look at the secret stuff to see how much they really know versus just regurgitating what the news says, trying to make themselves seem famous or whatever. You know, those kind of people. But most of it is just like listing extra stuff that was stolen. But it does follow a pattern where it's like buying electronics, cash, jewelry, things that are easily pawned. But as you're looking, and stuff, you do notice that there are notes from the detectives who are actually assigned to the case investigating that they're looking at it, and one thing they did notice, which Q was kind of on the right track, but was doing more esoteric stuff, you know, putting little pins, trying to see if it formed a, you know, pattern. Q was like, ooh, pentagram magic. What they found is that all of the houses are easily within a bus stop or two of a one bus line. So they're
Okay.
thinking whoever is doing it is essentially taking the bus.
Okay, not bad. Is any of the reported high-end electronics traceable? Anything that would have had a location or possible connection to Wi-Fi or 4G, things like that?
From the looks of it, they are kind of keeping an eye or ear out, but the person has yet to turn on any of the devices. Note that the thefts and stuff has only been going on for less than a week at this point, so the person might just not have done that yet. But there is something you do see where that one of the items was found at a pawn shop, a piece of jewelry. Because when a pawn shop gets stuff, they always have to report it to the police.
Mhm.
One thing did cause a hit.
Okay. The thing is, police offices have an emergency ability to turn on locations for cell phones specifically to be able to identify location. Like if somebody calls 911 and they don't have their location turned on, they have the ability to turn on the location for those devices.
Right, but the high-end electronics are still in basically game systems. Which
Oh,
yeah.
okay. When you say high-end electronics, my first thought is, you know, people are paying stupid amounts of money for a fucking phone.
I was thinking super about expensive amounts of money for a PS5. That thing's still expensive and it's been like 3 years. Shit.
They're
that's
still
true.
barely acquirable though.
I know, like
Well, it's
hang on
because
a
of their
second.
fucking price tag.
Yeah, shit. I've been waiting to play some of these new games, but I was like, God damn, but I have so much soul for one of these. Or at least find one that fell off the back of a truck.
You still have a soul?
Partially.
Okay. Then you couldn't track them by accounts because they'd have to hook up the system and use the same accounts. Okay, that pawn shop sounds like a good place to investigate. Because as a police officer, I should be able to get the receipt information for that particular hit.
Okay, so you have the information. Do the two teams want to call each other to give each other the information so you can
Hold on.
you know, plan?
Damn it.
Yeah, after we leave, I would, I guess I'd call, Talon.
Because both these investigations are happening roughly the same time. It's not like one happens and then you go and do the same thing. It's you know how it is in movies.
Especially 24 hours.
They're gonna be like, oh yeah, I gotta wait for the other team to do their 2 hours of investigation so I can start mine. So you call each other, you start spreading, giving the news back and forth. Also, this way, if you want to go to pawn shop and have role playing and stuff, you have someone who's more comfortable role playing in the scene potentially, so that you know. This what's the plan?
I got to hit on a pawn shop. What you got?
We got a weird substance that smells like sulfur and garlic. that we should maybe take to one of our labs and check it out.
You say one of our labs.
Like meaning Q's lab or mine.
Ah, okay. I was about to say, forensics might have a problem with me bringing weird shit all the time. Okay. Did any of them happen to mention, I don't know if they're all in the same bus line.
we've
I'm
only
assuming the pawn shop is in the same bus line.
Bus line. Oh, you mentioned that.
Oh, yeah, sorry. All of the places that were hit are all at least one bus stop away from the same bus line. Most of the blues think it's probably some dumbass taking a bus and robbing them. Can't explain the rest of the smells, but
So one
We
thing
think-
we could do is I do think we should check out the pawn shop. That's a good idea.
yeah, I'm already heading there.
But could just ride that bus line for a couple of nights.
I'm-
And
I'm
see
going
anybody
if
with a
we
huge
see
bag of
anybody
stuff.
suspicious that smells like sulfur and garlic and has a really big backpack. Because if they're getting on the bus, they're gonna need to be carrying a big bag to carry big, heavy video game systems like that.
That kind of crap could fit in a backpack easy.
Yeah, but like the majority of people that are getting on a bus in the middle of the night aren't carrying a backpack.
I have
Not
a
the size
question.
needed.
So I don't know how it works, but so is that bus line like just running around the clock? Because like here in Europe generally, like the later it gets, the less frequent buses run, and then like between certain times they don't run at all.
It's similar to here, though typically there might be a change between weekday and weekend times,
yeah, that
depending
too.
on how popular the bus route is. But they have like a long thing, so if they go from like downtown up to, let's say, the Towson area, they run it and then just make big circular, and like 3 or 4 buses will be going for, depending on the popularity. But after I think 11-ish midnight, depending again on the specific bus, they do stop running the MTAs into in the morning again. So there is a time period where the buses do not run. So that does narrow down when this person would be active if they are indeed taking the bus.
Mhm.
Unless they're taking the last bus there, then they spend the night robbing the place, and then they take the first bus in the morning.
And write that down.
Which actually
that's-
would make a lot of sense, because if they have a way to make the people like sleep really deep with their
They can do whatever they want for as
wax
long as
stuff,
they
they
want.
could, then they have a lot of
And that
time
would also
searching the
explain
place.
why they got a sandwich, because they have to wait
Yeah.
from they have to wait from like 11 o'clock at night.
Hey,
until
look
6
at
o'clock in
us,
the
we're
morning.
investigating, putting the puzzle pieces together.
Are y'all going to meet Talon at the pawn shop?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so you'll arrive at pawn shop within minutes of each other because y'all got great timing.
Convenient.
So y'all walk in. It's a nice sized pawn shop. Not like one of those fancy ones you see on History Channel, but still nice. This one will actually give you a bit more money for your items.
Yeah, 6 instead of 5.
They're big money spenders here. So you see cases full of stuff, different jewelry, lots of guitars, lots of rings. They have like a whole case. It's like buy one wedding band, get the next one half off.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well-
Wall of, guitars, some drum kits, older systems for games, some video games, bikes, all kinds of things. Typical pawn shop. And say behind the cage is a person sitting there because everything's in like glass, but like the glass to where the attendants are, there is like a cage, and every now and then there's like a one of those openings where you can do this and like put things in and out kind of thing.
That kind of
Well,
pawn shop.
My first order of business is to head straight to the I don't want to call him a clerk. The guy
Cashier?
behind the cashier, thank you. Go up to the cashier and obviously at this point I have to flash my badge for
It's like, oh,
and just ask him about the ring and the receipt.
oh,
I thought it was a watch.
No, Hera, no.
That's very good.
That is good.
so yeah, you need it again? Huh, thought we already sent it all over. Give a guess. Someone got jelly donut on it.
Ha.
This man gets it. But yeah, let's see what I can get for you. Hold on, it's going to take me a few moments to bring it back up.
Not only the receipt, do you have CCTV?
Do flies like shit?
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Can you find the image while you're getting the receipt? Image of the person that pawned this off.
You got the warrant?
Intimidation check?
Okay.
Hopefully it goes
I would-
better for you than it did for Ronja last time.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think honestly the better route to take here is just to give him a honey.
Charisma and intimidation.
Charisma.
But Ronja doesn't have that kind of money. She already gave 20 to the kid, so we no longer have our gold reserves. No, wait, we brought that to the bank, didn't we? Do we still have our gold?
I mean, it was in our bank account. I don't see why we wouldn't.
You had spent a big chunk of it on the renovation, so you don't have as much as you did, but you do have some reserve back. Yes, you were regret.
I would actually try to bribe him before we try the
Talon is playing bad cop. How many successes?
2 successes.
2. Just like
I kind of just stare him down.
give me a few moments. I gotta get the tapes up and
Thank you.
bring this receipt up first.
Do you notice anything odd about the one that pawned it off?
I wasn't technically here. It
Ah,
was the other guy.
all right.
He said it was odd, but
How odd?
some sort of weird kid guy, wearing a long coat. Dude, what's that group? You looks at Ronja, who's I think you're the youngest one in the group, right?
yes.
Young kids, like around your age and stuff, when they go to the clubs and they wear that weird get-ups and stuff with the masks and everything.
Cosplay?
No.
What?
Raincoat?
It wasn't
No.
like
No, he had like
Plague Doctor mask?
he wasn't a
Yeah.
juggalo, was he?
no, not plague. It's more like
Like a
Ghost
gas
you see-
mask
you-
kind of thing.
yeah, kind of like that, but not like a World War one that we saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a respirator thing, like something you would
Rebreather.
see, for example, or a rebreather, like something you would see like someone who does like painting does, right? Someone who does like paint jobs on like cars, like with spray paint, stuff like that.
I guess that's a bit better than what I was thinking. I was thinking those people who go to clubs and they hear like that, boom, 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 kind of dancing, and they like, wear big old flared pants and they put the masks on and the makeup and the colored hair and they're like, oh.
Yeah, I got what you mean, but
Wow.
You get stoned to that, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he was talking to you, Q.
Q
I
thinks he
guess.
knows. He thinks he knows what kids are.
Anything else weird, like smells?
Honestly,
You
most of
mentioned-
the people come in and pawn stuff smell weird.
Yeah, okay. I'll leave you to get the receipt and the video up.
He's like, here's the receipt. Not much there. There's cash exchange. They did a full pawn, not a trade, not a no, not a pawn, a sell. Sorry. PO box, which but one reason we flagged it is when someone puts PO box as their address, it's kind of like that, and we have to run stuff whenever we get something, we run it in the system in case it's stolen and keep it for a couple days. That's standard procedure. Then we go in the back and get the see if I can get the video on a USB. Give me a second. I'm not really great at this part. So
Right.
I always ask for a warrant so that I can always pass it on to somebody else.
Thank you.
I give him 50 and be like, here for your troubles and your effort.
Should we be acting like we're a whole group together?
Oh, probably not. Yeah, you're right.
Q is just looking at.
He's just like, thanks for the 50, pal. I don't know what you need.
No, wait. Then I don't do that. Makes sense that Ronja has just been there like looking around for stuff and not actually acting like she's together with a cop. That makes no sense.
Yeah, Q's at the older electronics areas, looking for that stuff.
It also would be confusing for the clerk as they'd be like, I'm being bribed by a random person to get this information while a cop is right here. I'm feeling really conflicted here.
Bright side, I'm not paying and you get paid.
It's going to probably be about 30 minutes or so, give or take.
I'll be here.
If you see anything you want, just let us know. We got all kinds of good stuff.
Are there weapons behind him on the wall?
Nope.
No?
It's like, no, we don't sell weapons here.
Bullshit.
I mean,
We
not every pawn shop does.
sell weapons here.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Yeah, only stuff that fall off the back of a truck.
Uh-huh. And what time frame do those typically fall off the back of the truck?
Next shift.
Gotcha. City ass cop in a pawn shop in front of his friends.
It's kind of
Buying
like
illegal
scene
guns. Great.
from Men in Black. Where are the weapons, Jeeves? I don't know what you're talking about.
So, like, I know that you guys are joking, but like, this is some very Baltimore shit right now.
Gun Trace Task Force. Yeah.
This is some very Baltimore shit right now.
Look up the Gun Trace Task Force.
Like,
so
straight
much
up,
worse.
that conversation is beat for beat like a thing that happened. One of the main guys that ran that task force, I'm pretty sure his best buddy owned a pawn shop.
Yikes.
Reminds me, in Germany, there was a police president busted for throwing cocaine parties or like just drug parties with drugs that were like confiscated. That, out of evidence.
They were just going to destroy them anyway.
Better burn them with someone present.
Hilariously, the gun task force were such buzzkills that they typically didn't actually use the drugs. They would sell them to other criminals and keep the money.
Yeah. But anyway, so you're looking around, there's like the typical kind of stuff at most things. They use electronics. They have, they have a VCR from the 80s. They have a couple CRT TVs, which are actually in high demand. The prices seem very high. Because retro gamers, retro gamers also are very much into the old CRTs because certain games play better on those than they do modern flat screens because of the refresh rate shit and all that. Like Battletoads, if you try to play that on a lot of modern TVs, you literally can't beat it. So things like that. So you wait a bit, about half an hour or so later, clerk comes back, it's like, good news and bad news.
Thing.
Good news, I have the stuff for you. Bad news, I was out of USB, so I had to burn it on a disk.
Not what I was expecting, but I'll still take it.
Not that many people have optical drives to read, CDs anymore. So I don't know if you all have that and stuff. I know last time the person was like, "You don't have a USB port drive anymore." It's like we keep running down.
I mean, at
I
least
think
you
the
didn't have
funny
me.
thing is, I'm not sure Hugh has a DVD player yet. I'm not
He's
sure
got
he's
it.
at that level.
He's got to have stuff that people want.
Hey, Q. Actually, no, I should probably wait until I step away from the cashier. So yeah, I'll take that information.
No, it's like I said, just I know some people are like, "Ooh, I could put on a VHS for you if you really want to go the old school detective route where you can put it in and then move it slightly and move it slightly in hands, like CSI people."
Yeah, I don't want to die in 7 days. I'll take the disc.
Oh, you know about that tape?
So
So,
as oh, go ahead.
as I say, yeah. So, got
Okay.
your stuff.
As I make my way out with the receipt and the CD, I do want to tap Q on the shoulder just to get his attention, either to follow me out or to meet me outside in just a minute or two. I want to ask him if he does have that. Oh, wait, what am I talking about? Fuck it. I send him a text. As I make my way out, I will send him a text asking if he either has it or if he can find a CD reader in the spawn shop.
I think you guys are overestimating how difficult it is to find something that can read a disc.
It's not necessarily finding something that reads the disc. It's finding something that is not official police equipment, because what I'm doing is extremely shady. And two, most of my stuff would be high-end electronics as well. I wouldn't think
it's
I would
just an
have
optical disk drive. It's just making
Yeah.
sure you have a computer that has a optical disk drive.
I will say
Which isn't that common anymore.
Yeah, it's getting
It's
less and
not
less
super
common.
common,
But between the 17 of you, someone has the capabilities.
17 of us.
Q's
I
smart
just
as
keep
shit.
adding numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, just so long as I understand.
Honestly, probably the hotel probably has like some old computer that has a disk drive.
You can always go to a library. They got computers there.
And Kat, just to throw this out there, there's a lot of departments that I work with that are being upgraded to tablets only. They actually have to get peripherals to peripherals where they put the tablet into basically a docking station that acts as a keyboard and a base computer. So if they don't have that docking station, they are tablet only, meaning no peripherals. So no CD players, no printers, nothing.
That seems so stupid.
That we're used to, our government work where it's like, hey, we just updated your computer to Windows XP.
Yeah. No, the reason they're doing it is because the tablets are a hell of a lot cheaper to maintain and or upgrade every fucking decade. And it's easier to maintain and repair the smaller devices and docking stations versus a full-blown computer for each and every single person in that department.
But yeah,
I'm sorry I'm boring you.
No, you're fine. I'm just tired.
I'm just fucking with you.
Holly will buy some like minor little trinket of jewelry and maybe like a small gift for Naboo before we head out.
Before Ronja heads out, she actually goes to the clerk and asks him, okay, what is the item that has been lying around here the longest that absolutely nobody wants? It can be something from the bag that you don't even bother to like put out here in front.
Oh,
if he sells you a clown, I'm leaving.
You're not gonna want it.
Try me.
All right. Comes back, puts on the desk what appears to be someone who taxidermied a combination of a skunk, beaver, and like horns from something. He's like, one of our people who no longer works here allowed this to be pawned.
How
the
much?
guy never came back to get it. How much are you willing to pay for it? Honestly, no one's wanted to buy it yet.
$5.
So
I take the thing for 5.
I don't know whether this is worse or better than the
So-
clown.
yeah, so think of like the back end is that of a like a beaver, and then the front end's a skunk, and it's got like the antlers like attached to the head.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's cursed. I love it. Actually, looking at this, like as I buy it, I take it with me and I look at it. Does it actually seem like someone like can merit this together? Or could it be that this is actually some magical creature that somebody killed and stuff like this? And
Oh
it's
no,
just-
it's put together. You can still
Okay,
see
okay.
you can see seams and stuff. It's not a good taxidermy job either.
all right. It's
Like-
it's like that fox taxidermy, the terrible that is on the internet.
Or oh, what museum had like a mountain lion or something? It's just like
Oh god, yeah, the like mountain lion by a person that had never seen a lion before. I don't even think it was a mountain lion. I think it was an actual lion.
As
That's
I
how
walk out,
fucked up it was.
I whispered to Holly, "Hey, do you think I could animate this? That would be really funny."
That would be so nightmarish. I'm gonna
Maybe
see
Q
that in
can
my,
turn into
in my
like some
nightmares
kind of.
now. Thanks.
Maybe Q can turn it into like some mechatronic animal.
That's not better.
Hey,
I
how does
found the
Amaryllis
image.
work? Could I convince Snorlax to inhabit this thing?
Sorry, I'm looking at terrible taxidermies for lions and stuff, and some of these are just so bad.
Oh god.
Oh my lord.
Or
You
is
have
it
to
familiar
share
like
that otter one.
tied to a specific animal? Because that would also be funny, just being like, hey, Snorlax, I have a new body for you if you ever want something. And just coming up with this cursed thing.
Is this the one you were talking about?
No, that one. Go. Yeah, that thing. That thing just looks like it's seen some shit.
So you'll head back to the hotel area to get things set up, and with that, I would say you get back, and as you do, Q, the phone has finished downloading its data, and you do have the stuff set up to. Wow, you just whitewashed yourself there. And you're going to be checking the stuff, and that is where we'll be ending this session. So the next week we will get the information off the CD as well as the information off the phone, so that the two investigations can continue. So thank you for joining us. Hope everyone had a decent time. Keep checking this channel out. Our upload schedule has been a bit wonky because, again, child at this point,
Baby.
baby. But we attempt to do Mondays and Wednesdays, but that's a bit out. But just check our channel out. We have Baltimore by Night, a Vampire Masquerade show. We have Insect Knights of Power Rangers RPG. Savage Pathfinder, Rise of the Rune Lords, and this one. So just keep checking our channel out, and hope you and everyone else has been having a decent time. Until next time, it's been magically delicious.
Hey.
Bye.
Me.